Right. So fast forward, we are living in 2025, right? And most of students and the corporates, and even in the corporate sector, a lot of people who are working, like developers or AI engineers, wanted to join a cybersecurity career.
Cybersecurity was mainly a few components. It was there was a clear separate market for cybersecurity. For black hat and white hat market. For students right now, it's all about motivation. If they really want to learn something.
Right now, also the bug bounty is a rabbit hole, right? It's a very challenging for the bug bounty hunters to find the bugs inside the applications, because a lot of firewalls, even though bypassing the Cloudflare or basic level firewalls is also challenging. How you think we can modify our tactics or techniques as a security researcher to bypass these things quickly and to find the bugs?
AI is helpful in this scenario, but AI is not going to replace bug hunters, human hunters right now, human hackers for now. But what it can do is basically give it ideas.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Husnain, subject matter expert of attack surface management platform. And today we have a podcast with Mr. Khizer Javed, who has experience of 10 years into bug bounty and also breaking the application since the age of 15. So welcome, Mr. Khizer Javed. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Let me introduce
Yes, let's
myself.
have a concise introduction.
Yeah, totally. So my name is Khizer. I am cybersecurity professional. I mainly work as a bug bounty hunter and an application security consultant. I started my journey very early, and currently I'm pursuing application security. My main goal is to protect applications, find vulnerabilities, and in all of the internet. So it's my passion. It's what I do for fun, and it's also my work.
Right. So at what age you started cybersecurity and breaking the applications?
Well, I started back when I was 15 years old, and I started very early, as I say. And it was fun back then. It's still fun, but now I do it as a work, so it's not that much fun.
Yeah,
But I started earlier because it was something new for me. Computers were new for me. Internet was new for me. I came from a background from religious studies, and then suddenly going into school and computer life. So it was fun. So I started by playing games and hacking those games.
And at which year? Which year you started?
I think it was back in 2013, 2012, 2013.
Right. So it was very easy to do phishings and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was my first introduction to hacking it in itself. So phishing was the main component, that how people were taking control of others' Facebook accounts,
right,
and Gmail accounts, and then using them to buy credits for games such as Farmville or 8-Ball Pool.
Right.
So that's where I got introduced to hacking actually.
And did you familiar or created a roadmap for your own as well, like in programming automations or stuff like that? Like how you started the bug bounty specifically, and how you utilize the automation scripts in the bug bounties as well?
Well, early on it was there was no automation. I'll say that automation started back when COVID started. Before that, it was no automation. I wasn't familiar with automation that much. And back then it was all practical. We were just hacking stuff away. Anything we can see, anything we can touch, which we can hack, find vulnerabilities in. Even if it's just text injection, just adding text to a website. It was just that, and it was just we'll do it for fun.
Like destroying websites.
Yeah, it was like putting your name on a website, and for kudos and for social credits.
Right.
So back then it was fun. And then I met a few fellows from Pakistan, namely Shawar Khan or Qasim Munir, Hassan Khan Yusufzai. And these guys were, doing the same stuff that I was doing.
Right.
So then following them, and we helped each other. We played along. And then we got into, bug bounty hunting, because it was fairly a new thing in the market as well back then, like 10 plus years ago. And that's how I initially got introduced to bug bounty hunting.
Right. So fast forward, we are living in 2025, right? And most of students and the corporates, and even in the corporate sector, a lot of people who are working, like developers or AI engineers, wanted to join a cybersecurity career, right? How you think they can jump into or prepare the roadmap for themselves, or start their journey into cybersecurity? Like, what motivates them, right? So, how you can respond to that?
Well, from past few years, like cybersecurity has evolved. It has evolved a lot. Back when we started, cybersecurity was mainly a few components. It was there was clear separate market for cybersecurity, for black hat and white hat market. But now the gap has been filled by many different fields, many different people, many different roles.
Right.
And with the introduction of AI के आने के बाद जो है overall, the market has shifted towards multiple different roles.
Right.
So for the newcomers, जो university के students हैं, the newcomers, the people who are studying in universities, or they just finished their degrees and wanna jump into the cyber career itself, they got it easy. They have training modules available.
Right.
They have web security modules available. They have certifications
like Burp
modules.
Suite, 𝗏𝗏 Labs, right?
Yeah, 𝗏𝗏 Labs. Other than that, you have Hack the Box. You have Try Hack Me.
Yes, these
all these
Let's
platforms.
Defend.
Yeah, Let's Defend.
Yes.
All those platforms are really available right now, and students can get them for free almost.
Exactly.
With their student emails.
Exactly.
So for students right now, it's all about motivation. If they really want to learn something, they can just they're just one Google away. Back when we started, application security or hacking in itself was compromise of a few things, like वहाँ पे defacing होती थी.
Exactly.
Phishing modules use होते थे. There was rats or malwares.
Exactly.
And we didn't have
keyloggers.
Yeah,
right?
we didn't have exact courses to go with. So we had to figure out. We had to know what module does what.
Right.
We had to learn the application, web application security. हमें जो SQL injection था उसको manually सीखना पड़ा, और which is great. It helped us go ahead in our career as well. And it's actually really amazing to see that now people in 2025 have all those sort of suites available at their fingertips.
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
can just touch a button, learn things, just sit down and learn the stuff that we had to figure out slowly by helping each other. And that's the good thing. We helped each other from all over the globe. We had Russian friends,
Right.
we had Polish friends on...
Even we can automate the commands from the cursor and the wrap, the tool, right, of any injections or any open source tool, right?
Yeah.
So this is like what we can do. And like I have also the background of Python development for cybersecurity. With the perspective of roadmap, I think like students can join with Burp Suite, Hack the Box, or even Try Hack Me or Let's Defend. It will also help. But what if, like, for example, I can here brief like Python for cybersecurity. So they can start with the module name as 𝗏𝗏, right?
Yeah.
For the network security automation. Other than that, they can start with Paramiko. That is also the framework for the SSH automation as well.
Exactly.
So I think like they should have to start right now, at least the like understanding of the Python basics, because still if even we are doing the vibe coding, students should have to learn about coding, right? What do you think about that perspective?
Yeah, it's not just about coding.
Right.
It's about fundamentals.
Exactly, yes.
You cannot break something until you learn to make it.
Yeah.
That's the motto I learned a while ago. And that's because when I started, I did not focus on programming or coding,
exactly.
or anything.
Yes.
And it took me a lot of years to figure this stuff out. And I still, like, yesterday I was talking to my friends about TypeScript. Like, एक issue fix करता हूँ, like 20 more issues popped
Exactly,
up.
yes.
So I was like baffled with it, what TypeScript is. And so I had to figure this out later on. And I struggle with it a lot. I have issues with figuring it out or coding it myself
Even though
properly.
we both know that कि हम जो है वो product develop कर रहे हैं, ठीक है?
Yeah,
So right
exactly.
now एक product development के लिए as a product lead के तौर
Yeah.
पे आपको कितनी ज़्यादा programming experience होना चाहिए? आपको solution architect का
You
पता होना चाहिए?
definitely should know a lot of it. So
Yes.
just like that, for newcomers or students or the new people joining the industry, fundamentals should be everything. You should know how the computers work. You should
Exactly.
know
How the kernel
what the
works.
logic gates are.
Exactly.
You should know
How the kernel works
Yeah.
and interact with the hardware as well.
Yeah, exactly. You should know what the HTTP protocols are.
Right.
You should know the status codes. Without knowing the status codes, आप jump in तो कर लेंगे in the industry. You might be able to find a bug or two as well. But what happens when you see a status code that you haven't seen before in an application?
Yeah.
Or when newcomers join, they see a 404 error on a web application. I've seen them struggle with it. They just figure out okay, that's a 404 not found error, and they'll just move ahead to another target. What if that target is deliberately shown as 404 to
Exactly.
them? So there are a lot of things included. So learning the fundamentals, including the network fundamentals, learning programming fundamentals, computer fundamentals,
even the web application fundamental, like learning about DOM as well, how DOM works, right?
Exactly.
So these are the very important things that students should have to know. Even though there is a platform known as roadmap.sh. So they have a comprehensive roadmap, and we have our own institute that we are empowering, AQSEC, in which we are trying to empower students to prepare the roadmaps, and we are trying to provide them the dedicated trainings as well. So my next question, I would like to know, right nowadays you're doing the bug bounty, right? How you think AI is helping you to do the bug bounties and helping you in the automation? How you can?
AI has changed the game a lot. It has completely revamped the bug bounty industry in itself. Just for people who don't know what bug bounty is very simple concept. It's an application security. Just any person, if they find an exploitable vulnerability, security vulnerability in a system, they can just report it to the vendor, and if they have a program set up for vulnerability disclosure, they'll definitely check it out. If that's actually impactful vulnerability, they're gonna pay it out. So that's how the bug bounty industry overall works. And in the era of AI, it has changed. AI, if we talk about what AI is doing, AI is actually a helping hand right now for bug hunters to play around at a speed that we have never seen before.
Like in reconnaissance.
Yeah. Not just in reconnaissance.
Enumeration as well.
In everything. Like, for example, Burp Suite has integrated its own AI in the latest version of Burp Suite. You just have to pay for it, and you can use the AI features. Right. And by using AI features, it's really simple. I can be looking at a cross-site scripting vulnerability, and in the back end, I get a notification that there might be a possibility of an SSRF, and I'll get the generated payloads for it already in Burp Suite. And just like that, there are DeepSeek, there's Claude, there's Gemini. Even Cursor. If you know how to write Cursor rules and project rules, you can use Cursor.
You can write a bash scripts, right?
Exactly.
To automate your open source tools and integrations, all these things.
Exactly. So for me personally, AI is helping me do a lot of stuff. Like, for example, I'm using it for reconnaissance. I'm using it to combine data, to figure out what headers system is giving me back. And all of this is happening when I'm sleeping. So exactly. It's everything. Even though before AI, automation scripts were doing almost the same thing. But with AI, it's kind of a context-aware stuff. So instead of just giving me back a header in my Slack notification, it's giving me back a proper information with it.
Even though you can prepare the reports as well.
Yeah, I prepare all my reports with AI now, 100%, all of them. So it's very simple. It's very easy. I just have to give it a complete scenario of the report. And it just points out a markdown format to me. Right. And for that, I have made a simple Python script. So for in the script, I just give it a title, a small vague description, a vulnerable URL, and it's pop out a complete markdown file that is appropriate for HackerOne, Bugcrowd, Integrity, and all those other platforms. Right. So I can just report it. Before if it used to take me 15 minutes to write a report and attach screenshots and everything. Now it's 3 minutes. So that saves 10-15 minutes of my time for each bug report. So yes. it obviously AI increases the productivity as well.
Right. So right now also the bug bounty is a rabbit hole, right? It's a very challenging for the bug bounty hunters to find the bugs inside the applications, because a lot of firewalls, even though bypassing the Cloudflare or basic level firewalls is also challenging. How you think we can modify our tactics or techniques as a security researcher to bypass these things quickly and to find the bugs? Any tip or any quick hack that you think?
Well, great question. Obviously, I'll still point to AI again. AI is helpful in this scenario, but AI is not going to replace bug hunters, human hunters right now, human hackers for now. But what it can do is you can basically give it ideas. if you are bypassing a WAF, you bypassing a web application firewall for a SQL injection or cross-site scripting or any sort of bug, there are multiple techniques available to you, and you might have to figure out some new ones as well. So as a tip to others or a helpful scenario, I'll say utilize the power of AI, but combine it with your own mind. Learn what available bypasses currently are, what null bytes are used for in bypassing, what's the
like in XSS, right?
yeah, not just in XSS, you can use null bytes.
But these attack vectors are very difficult to bypass, even like SQL, CSSR, CSRF or SSRF. Like these are like uncommon vulnerabilities nowadays.
Not that much. After AI's introduction, the vibe coding industry, they all of them are almost back,
exactly.
almost back. But right away, like you said, it's still uncommon.
So it means that like vibe coding is also vulnerable.
Yeah, that's the biggest vulnerability right now. Like जितने भी वाइब कोडर्स हैं वो applications बना रहे हैं, they are pushing applications in hundreds every day, and then none of them are secured enough, because AI is gonna develop, but the developer itself, the coder itself should have to review it and understand it, and then figure it out what to do, how to secure it. So for bypassing the application level security or firewalls, you have to learn the techniques of the applications, how they are built. You can use regex patterns, you can use you can use uncommon data, junk data. You can put junk data in application. Like sometimes I've seen that for an application firewall, it takes all of the request body and check it out for any sort of injection or that, but that body is of a smaller size. But if you increase the size of the body to a lot of junk data, with a lot of junk data, the application itself will discard the junk data, but firewall will not be able to get the real data to process, and then it can be bypassed. So there are multiple scenarios. It obviously depends on what the application is, how you are testing it, what your mindset is, aap usme what you're looking for. It's not necessary that you can find a bypass for the firewall as well, because obviously a lot of firewall providers are now tracking the bug hunters and hackers themselves by their headers or by their applications, device IDs, to see what they are doing and find defense for it. And just like that, if we are using AI in attack patterns, they are using AI in defense patterns.
Exactly.
So it's not just humans versus humans now, it's AI versus AI as well.
Even like I was yesterday when I was doing some vibe coding, so I given the instructions like do the code according to the WASP top 10 secure coding tactics and techniques, and it creates a MD file in which it returns all the security checklist, and then it does the all security checklist of my code and then provide it to me. So उसके बाद मैंने वो जो अपना वेब एप्लीकेशन था अपने सिक्योरिटी रिसर्चर को दिया एंड आस्क्ड हिम लेट्स टेस्ट इट. सो 9 out of 10 यू कैन से कि वनएबिलिटीज़ हमने उसको सिक्योर कर लिया. तो अगर AI जो है वो आपके वाइब कोड, मतलब अगर आप उसको सही तरह प्रॉम्प्ट करें तो LLM उसको एक अच्छा सोल्यूशन भी देने के लिए रेडी है, राइट? सो इन माई व्हाट डू यू थिंक लाइक आफ्टर द AI, ठीक है, बग बाउंटीज़ के अलावा और कौन सी डोमेन्स हैं साइबर सिक्योरिटी की जो क्विकली आपको रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम भी अलाइन कर दें, ठीक है? यानी कि आप, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट्स के लिए सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या होता है कि वो किचन ऑटोमेशन चाहते हैं, रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम चाहते हैं, और साइबर सिक्योरिटी एक ऐसी डोमेन है जिसमें कम से कम अगर आप 1 से 2 साल जब तक एक्सपीरियंस गेन नहीं कर लेते किसी भी एक नीश में, आप आगे रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम नहीं जा सकते. तो कोई ऐसी रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम या कोई ऐसी मैथोडोलॉजी जिससे वो जल्द से जल्द लर्न भी कर लें और अपनी नीश भी सिलेक्ट कर लें. व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
पहले तो मैं ये कहूँगा कि स्टूडेंट्स के लिए तो बग बाउंटी बिल्कुल भी नहीं है.
एग्जैक्टली.
फॉर नाउ 10 साल पहले इट वाज फॉर स्टूडेंट्स, इट वाज फॉर पीपल हु eager to learn, eager to figure stuff out or find vulnerabilities for fun and profit as well. But now it's not that easy. Now it's a lot of noise in the system as well. बहुत से लोग भी आ गए हैं इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर. पहले अगर there were 6 lakh bug hunters over the world. Now it's 60 as an example. So obviously the competition has increased, and low hanging fruits जो हैं, जो कि जिनको बेसिकली हम कहते हैं low level और easy to find vulnerabilities, जैसे OWASP की cross site scripting हो गई, फिल्ट्रेशन ना हो कहीं पे इनपुट फील्ड्स के अंदर, तो दे आर मिटिगेटेड मोस्ट ऑफ देम. अब फ्रेमवर्क्स में लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल वर्डप्रेस हो गया, जूमला हो गया, you can't find access that easy at all. You have to fuzz for it. You have to read the code for it, find the vulnerabilities in the code. Like Husnain Sarwar he is I think it number 1 or number 2 on the VP scan leaderboard for WordPress plugin vulnerabilities.
Yes, exactly.
And he does a lot of work on it.
Yeah, like they automated the whole process.
Yeah, and he fuzz for it, and he reads the code, he understands the context. So it takes a lot of time. So for students, it's not that easy anymore to generate a revenue stream in bug bounty. They might get lucky with 2, 5 or 10 vulnerabilities, but going for long term in bug bounty, it's not easy. You have to learn multiple things at once. You have to keep yourself updated. You have to figure new stuff out. तो उसके लिए difficult हो जाता है. But what better is that why not learn the baselines and then apply for internships or jobs at companies जो कि penetration testing की services provide कर रही हैं. So they get the workforce, you get the experience, you get to learn from your seniors as well, or utilize AI as well.
Yes.
Build something out of AI. Use that. तो students के लिए ये है. वरना उसके अलावा in the domain of cybersecurity, you can be in many things. Like you can make frameworks, you can make tools, open source tools.
Yeah.
You can make
even though you can dive into information security.
Right. But at the end of the day, to generate revenue stream, you have to do some sort of service work.
Yes.
So for that, I won't say bug bounty is that easy anymore.
Yes.
So if it was 5 to 10 years ago, it was really easy. But now it takes a lot of efforts and time.
Right. So I would like to know, we are living in an AI era. ठीक है? In 2017, like when the Benjamin said like we can bring down nations on their knees with the push of button, and we are seeing like the global wars and the cyber wars are also evolving. So that is also one of the most hot topic nowadays. Okay, in future or even though in this current era, a lot of cyber attacks are happening in Pakistani companies as well. ठीक है? Nation level पे attacks हो रहे हैं. और कंपनीज उनको बता नहीं रही, ठीक है, एक्नॉलेज नहीं कर रही. जैसे गूगल पे जब भी कोई वनएबिलिटी या अटैक होता है तो दे हैव अ प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर दे एक्सपोज आउट कि दिस हैपेंड, दे हैव अ स्टैंडर्ड. हाउ यू थिंक कि पाकिस्तानी कंपनीज को भी ये बताना चाहिए कि भाई अटैक्स हो रहे हैं, अवेयरनेस देनी चाहिए, या इवन दो बैंक्स को भी, ठीक है, ताकि उनके जो कस्टमर्स हैं, उनके यूज़र्स हैं, वो उनको भी पता हो, और जो सिक्योरिटी कंपनीज हैं वो उनको सर्विसेज दे सकें और नेक्स्ट टाइम ऐसा ना हो. तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, क्या ऐसा होता है, और अगर ऐसा होता है तो हम इस चीज़ को किस तरह से ओवरकम कर सकते हैं? आपकी इस क्या पर्सपेक्टिव है?
वेल, it's unfortunate situation. It's an unfortunate situation कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर in our society right now there is no proper law for data protection. There is no proper data protection act or how companies are supposed to handle your data. It's not about individual, it's about companies right now. And obviously public advisories are for all the other companies in Europe, in UK or in US. It's mandatory for them. If they get breached, they have to publicly acknowledge it. They have to tell their users to change your passwords, or if they share the same password across multiple platforms, or they also have to pay fines. They have to keep their security up to date, and that's why the industry has grown a lot.
Exactly.
But in Pakistan, it's considered a taboo. If a company says like we got hacked, so
कस्टमर्स छोड़ के
चले जाएंगे, लोग काम नहीं करेंगे, फंडिंग्स नहीं आएंगी, which in itself I'll say if in my personal view I'll say if you are getting hacked, you are doing something good, you're doing something, you're building something.
Exactly.
It's not just that. If somebody has taken its time, even 5 मिनट लगे हैं उसे अगर, because it's that easy for some Pakistani companies to get breached because there is no data regulatory available, there is no data protection available, there is no application security available.
वो तो IT को कहते हैं भाई साइबर सिक्योरिटी में जाके चीजें कॉन्फ़िगर करते हैं.
Cyber security should be a completely different domain, and not even just cyber security, application security should be completely separate.
Yes.
SOC and monitoring should be completely separate.
Blue teaming,
right? Purple teaming, red teaming, everything should be separate in its separate domain, so the company can focus on security as a overall hand. मैं यूजली कंपेयर करता हूँ कि एक जैसे मेडिकल डॉक्टर होते हैं, उनके मल्टीपल डोमेन्स हैं. सो बॉडी रिक्वायर्स मल्टीपल डॉक्टर्स to check multiple parts. Just like that, you should have multiple people in cybersecurity domain to check multiple parts of your application.
Exactly.
So in Pakistan it's an unfortunate situation. हमारे पास ना गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेटरीज हैं इसके ऊपर, ना हमारे पास पब्लिक एडवाइजरीज आती हैं. एंड व्हेन कंपनीज गेट ब्रीच द डेटा इज़ अवेलेबल और डेटा इज़ अवेलेबल टू परचेज, बट दे डोंट एक्नॉलेज इट, बिकॉज इफ दे एक्नॉलेज इट इट्स गोना बी बैड फॉर देम.
और ये कंटिन्यूसली बैकडोर्स बन जाते हैं.
Yeah, but it's good in banking sector. It's a lot of improvements. Like we have banks have their own application security teams, their own pen test teams. I have seen multiple banks like in Pakistan do great work in security.
Right.
उनकी टीम में बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं. A lot of people that I know. So banking sector is evolving very fast in Pakistan, and they are employing a lot of resources to keep everything secure, steady and fast.
So we can conclude that like banking sector are implementing a lot of regulations in cybersecurity, but the corporates in Pakistan are not following the standards.
Exactly.
So they should have to follow the standards, and they should have to also empower their teams as well about the cybersecurity awarenesses, and specifically in the coding as well, because we are living in an era where one line of code is a weapon and more powerful than the other weapons, right? So this is something like that we have to work on.
Yeah, for example, like just this year alone, about I think 2 billion or something dollars were lost to hacking from North Korean adversaries,
exactly.
Specifically the Baybit hack.
Yes.
So the Baybit hack was not that simple, but on the overall it was simple attack. They took our S3 bucket or something like that, and they used that to push.
Even though the recent happened with the Hezbollah, the pager explosion.
Exactly.
So they have started preparing since 2019 with the Mossad and the Indian RAW, and they prepared all these things. And after 2019, like this happened in 2024. How you think like we can help companies as a security researcher or a consultant to make their security more strengthened and also implement the policies from information security to VAPT? How we can help them?
Well, for companies it depends on what they are doing. If they are service based company, so they should have different policies or different scenario for security. So we can provide them cybersecurity sessions, or we can help their team understand the goal. If they have developers, we can sit with their developers and talk them through about the security scenarios, the OS top 10, the mobile application security parameters, and help them develop a secure system. And for companies that have a product based business, so we can provide them VAPT services. We can help them develop let's say vulnerability disclosure policy. So if a third party finds a vulnerability, that they can report those vulnerabilities to them. So it totally depends on how the company works. But in an overall scenario, from application security to threat hunting or for VAPT, companies should get awareness first. Specifically in Pakistan, companies should get awareness first. Most of the companies that work on services business or product based business, they aren't aware of how security systems works. They actually think it's expensive or it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But if they are going to handle user data and in hundreds of thousands, so they definitely gonna need to go through a standard security testing process. For example, I know a company in Pakistan, they developed a mobile application and an Android application, and they got like over 5 million downloads. And they had a lot of user data, and all of the user data was stored in Firebase database, and that database was public. User details was getting leaked, and because the only login scenario they had was Facebook. And Facebook has their own separate program. It's called data abuse program. So if a third party company is utilizing Facebook systems, like for example login with Facebook, but they are not protecting the user data, they are leaking the auth tokens, the profile information, the emails in their own database.
Right.
We can report that to Facebook, and Facebook will find that company as well and pay us as well. So I have done that a lot of time, and I reported that company to Facebook as well.
Right.
So
that is also the opportunity for the bug bounty hunters. They can do.
Exactly. So companies can definitely learn what the process of other services that they are using. So how they're gonna learn it? They're gonna learn it from the people who actually go through this scenario every day. Like for security bug bounty hunters or security researchers, their own security team. most of the companies don't have security teams, but in this era, in the digital age that we are in today, most companies that have a revenue stream going on, they're building something, they do need a dedicated security person as well.
Right. So so we can provide the remote security researcher as well from our organization, like hire the hacker.
Yeah.
So like वो उसके लिए VAPT करे या उसको जो भी चाहिए वो वहाँ पे प्रोवाइड करे. लेकिन यहाँ पे एक चैलेंज है, वाई द कंपनी शुड ट्रस्ट यू. ठीक है, कंपनी, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान के अंदर कोई भी ऐसा स्टैंडर्ड है नहीं. PK सर्ट एक अच्छा स्टैंडर्ड बन रहा है, बट अभी तक कोई ऐसा स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है कि मैं आप पे ट्रस्ट करूँ. So do you think, like, do we have some framework, or why the companies should trust us? That's
well, in security, obviously you cannot trust anyone. Like even the white hat hackers, they can take your data and abuse it as well. So
exactly.
It all depends on the image of the user, image of the hacker they are hiring, or the companies they are hiring. They have standards such as the certifications. If the team they are hiring, they have certain certifications that validates their claims that they have the necessary skill set to perform security assessments on their systems. Just like that, the overall how you're gonna trust a hacker, it all depends on who the hacker is. If it's a public person with a public profile with the proper backing of the system, such as certifications, vulnerability research, they have CTFs under their banner, they have awards under their banner, they have practice labs under their banner. So they obviously that's one of the standards. But just like you said, PK cert, हमें थोड़ा सा कुछ सिस्टम की ज़रूरत है जिसमें हम स्पेसिफिकली पाकिस्तान में कंपनीज को बता सकेंगे, लाइक दिस पर्सन यू आर गोइंग टू हायर एज अ सिक्योरिटी असेसमेंट पर्सन और सिक्योरिटी रिसर्चर is a trusted person.
Yes.
Like for example, in CA or ACCA, when people go for audit, tax audit of the company or the accounts audit of the company, they don't just send anybody.
Exactly.
They send people who are affiliated with their company.
Yes.
Just like that, for companies, they only send people that are affiliated and validated or verified by themselves.
Yes. Exactly.
So that's the overall scenario. I don't think PK cert in itself is gonna give out licenses to hackers anytime soon, but
I think like there should be the process of giving the license, because I was just checking, I forget that policy, like companies in Pakistan can register in a specific frame, and they will be authorized security companies.
Yeah,
so it is happening.
I think that's for banking sector.
Yes,
and telecommunication sector.
Yes,
they get licenses from PTA. And PTA, I think, validates the certifications and the claims of the companies, and then those companies are allowed to do pen test or perform vulnerability assessments for banking sector or telecom. I'm not 100% sure about it, but I think that's how the scenario goes.
Okay, so I think like I was just checking, like SCCP is also their national cert program.
Yeah.
So in the national cert, we have a criteria right now for the security registration companies.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a bug bounty or all these things, but in this era, the social attacks are one of the common attacks, and where people जैसे phishing AI से बहुत easy हो गया, ठीक है, even though voice cloning fishes ये बहुत easy हो चुका है, और इस तरह के scams बहुत बढ़ते जा रहे हैं. Similar deepfake एक बहुत hot topic है. How you think कि हम इसको control किस तरह कर सकते हैं? एक तो ये है कि भाई फिशिंग ठीक है, AI को यूज़ करके आप एप्लीकेशंस बना रहे हैं, वॉइस क्लोन्स कर रहे हैं और स्कैम्स कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हम इन स्कैमर्स को पकड़ किस तरह सकते हैं, ठीक है, या फिर हम अपने आप को किस तरह इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग कर सकते हैं कि हम लोग इन स्कैम से बच सकें?
या फॉर डीप फेक द सिनेरियो इज AI is obviously gonna get better at creating images. It's not gonna go the other way around. It's gonna get better.
Like right nowadays we have a voice cloning.
Yeah.
In which, and then upcoming era we have a face cloning as well.
And अब उसके बाद भी उसके ऊपर भी जो AI के systems हैं, like for example Google का नया nano banana.
Exactly.
It's creating a lot of great images. And उसी के ऊपर I think Google has released Imagen 4 as well.
Exactly.
And that's even better image processing LLM learning model. So for people themselves, they're gonna have to train themselves as well. अगर AI को हम ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, मॉडल्स को ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, तो ह्यूमंस को भी ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा. ह्यूमंस को बताना पड़ेगा कि ये चीज़ फेक है, ये चीज़ ओरिजिनल है. for generations before us, our parents और उनके लिए व्हाट्सएप पे कोई भी आया हुआ मैसेज जो है, एनी मैसेज ऑन द व्हाट्सएप itself is a valid news,
right?
For most of them. But if you teach them, if you tell them that there is different, like I have told everybody in my household ke if you receive a link anywhere from any person, don't open it, copy it, go to a private window, paste it there.
Exactly, like incognito mode.
Yeah, right? So that's how you train people. So just like that, for the wider audience, we have to do these kind of podcasts. We have to do larger scale training modules in colleges, in universities, in offices, to tell people how to validate the image they are seeing, if there's deepfake or not.
Right.
And we can also utilize AI to combat AI as well.
Okay.
Because when AI is going to generate something, it's obviously going to leave its mark somewhere. With the release of Sora to the video,
exactly.
It just looks amazing. But it's obviously you can somehow tell with your own brain, because your brain is much more faster and powerful than any AI right now.
And with these tools, I think like threat landscape is also increasing,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Attack vectors are increasing.
100%.
And as you told before, like vibe coding is also the attack vector.
Yeah.
Right? So I would like to listen about your story. Which bounty paid you much, and what are your favorite bounties that happen in the history in your career? और आप इसको किस तरह से brief करना चाहेंगे? Yes, please.
So the best one for me was there was a company. It was a big company, and they had, like most companies that go above a certain number of users and people, they have to set up an LEA dashboard, that's law enforcement agencies dashboard, where if somebody reports user, or if another country, another department wants to get data of a user, they can use that platform to get access to the data.
Right.
So I was able to break into that system and get documents from that system, out of that system. So that was my favorite vulnerability that I that paid me the most over the time.
Right. So we have like you can say the application security. I would like to talk specifically क्योंकि देखें applications जिस तरह AI से vibe code बढ़ता जा रहा है, applications भी बढ़ती जा रहे हैं. AI agents specific हो गए हैं, dedicated हो गए हैं, and creating the applications. Do we have any mechanism to automate the application security as well? Like I am a attack surface management guy, so we are discovering a lot of attack vectors on daily basis, and हम भी scanners अपने increase कर रहे हैं. तो आप agentic AI को हम किस तरह use कर सकते हैं application security को automate करने में?
Well, in a lot of scenarios, application security is getting automated by using agentic AI systems. For example, in a normal day-to-day routine, a security researcher or application security researcher would take a domain and start finding the sibling domains of it or subdomains of it. But then after that, they have to validate the certificates of it. They have to validate the IP addresses, the C names of them, all of these
DNS records,
and then उसके बाद उसका एक proper mind plan बनाना पड़ता है to test those applications out. And then you go and you look at the context of each subdomain, each domain in itself. So for automation, for reconnaissance, for application security, all of this can be automated using agentic AI. So instead of using a lot of your brain towards simpler tasks, वही टूल सेट्स को यूज़ करके, जो कि नॉर्मली तौर पे यूज़ होते हैं, एप्लीकेशन सिक्योरिटी को एक हाई लेवल पे डिप्लॉय किया जा सकता है. और जस्ट नॉट जस्ट दैट, बट ऑल्सो in a larger scale, AI or agentic models can be used to develop exploits on a level जिस पे if they see a vulnerability, instead of properly figuring it out, AI agentic models can make a separate exploit for it for you, so you can test it out very fastly. So there are a lot of scenarios in this that it can be used. Like जो नया OpenAI ने अपना रिलीज़ किया है GPT-5 और 5 के साथ जो अपना उन्होंने मॉडल रिलीज़ किया है, रीजनिंग, वो बहुत सारे सिनेरियोज को इंक्रीज कर देता है
Exactly. Test cases design कर देता है
डिजाइन
आपके
करने के लिए. और उसके
even though
बाद
like we design also the lot of test cases.
एग्जैक्टली उसको हमने वर्क फ्लो भी बनाने के सिस्टम्स दे दिए.
बिल्कुल ऐसा.
सो यू कैन यूज दैट, यू कैन पुट ईच टूल इन अ सेपरेट वर्क फ्लो सिस्टम, एंड देन one two tools output can go to the second one, third one, and then the last one would be to AI, or each one could be to AI. So AI can get you the best output that's possible for all the tools.
Right. So did you get a chance to work with the MCP as well in your career?
Not that much.
Not that much, right? So MCP is also the involving thing, the MCP protocol, right? And the servers and the clients interacting with each other and automating the agentic AI. I would like to know like what sort of a services landscape जो कि अब expand कर सकते हैं. As a co-founders, we both are the the founders of the companies, and we are working in that domains. I am working in the product specifically. You are working in VAPT. तो सर्विसेज के अंदर फाउंडर्स को आप क्या एडवाइस करना चाहेंगे कि वो कौन कौन सी सर्विसेज के ऊपर स्पेसिफिकली राइट नाउ काम स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं और अपने बिजनेस में जो है वो इम्प्रोवाइजेशन गेन कर सकते हैं?
Well, just to clarify the question, it's for the overall tech landscape or just for the security?
Cybersecurity.
It's just for the cybersecurity. For that, obviously, they're going to have to choose a main domain for themselves, first of all, जिसमें उनकी कंपनी या उनकी सर्विसेज एक्सेल करती हूँ. Like if they are good at mobile application security, they should stick to that as the main revenue stream or main service they provide. And then they can add other services. For example, right now malware based malware analysis or reverse engineering, it's a big industry, but overall in Pakistan it's not happening. Nobody is doing that.
Exactly. Malware development is also
so after the introduction of AI, you can accelerate your malware development, you can accelerate the reverse engineering system, you can develop test cases for them.
Even though like programming languages name as NIM, Lua, nobody knows that.
Nobody knows them. Exactly. So for that, if they introduce something uncommon in security industry, like back to 6, 7, 8 years ago, threat hunting was really new in our industry, in our standard in Pakistan.
Right.
So people who adopted it earlier are much more happier than people who are doing it slowly. Just like that AI, people who started with GPT-3 are implemented in their systems are much better off than people who are doing with currently. So it's all about step by step guidelines. So they obviously, the best would be to figure out what your main selling point is, what your speciality is, and then sell that, and then on the top of it add
other services, right?
Other services.
So we should have to be niche specific.
Yeah.
Right. And Upwork is a very common platform, for this all of the tech industry. But we see like on Upwork we are getting a lot of scam, clients. So what do you think? Like, is there any other platform जहाँ से हम clients hunt कर सकते हैं? Like LinkedIn is also there, Upwork is also there. Like any other platform that you name it?
Well, normally I'll say there aren't that much platforms जहाँ पे सिक्योरिटी की सर्विसेज सेल की जाती हैं.
बिकॉज सिक्योरिटी की सर्विसेज ज़्यादातर पीयर टू पीयर
चल रही होती हैं, वर्ड ऑफ माउथ चल रहा होता है. और कंपनीज आपका काम देख के, आपके ब्लॉग्स देख के, आपकी रिसर्च देख के आपको रीच आउट करती हैं.
एग्जैक्टली.
सो ओवरऑल देयर इज नो अ मार्केट प्लेस वेयर यू कैन जस्ट गो एंड बाय अ हैकर आउट, हायर हैकर.
मैं लास्ट टाइम देख रहा था कि हैक द बॉक्स के ऊपर एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम है जहाँ पे हम हैकर्स को इंगेज कर सकते हैं.
इट्स फॉर जॉब्स.
It's for jobs. Exactly.
It's for jobs.
And the one of the most important question, Khizer bhai, what do you think, like what should be the hacker's mindset in your term? कि यार hacker का क्या mindset होना चाहिए hacking करते वक्त या bug bounty करते वक्त? Because this is one of the most important thing in cybersecurity. If you don't have a mindset, you cannot pursue that career.
Yeah.
It's not like SEO or a web development or HTML CSS stuff.
Yeah.
It's a whole mindset. So what do you think about that?
Well, bug bounty is a small part of cybersecurity community or hacking community. It's a very small part of it.
Right.
But in overall, the mindset for all of the domain should be same, and the mindset should be creative and be passionate about your stuff. You cannot be a lazy person or somebody who just sits at and just copy and paste stuff out from one text file to another text file or one domain to another domain. You need to be creative. You're not gonna use the same attack vectors for a .NET application that you use for a PHP based application, and you're not gonna use both of them for a JavaScript based application. So you're gonna have to figure stuff out. You're gonna have to be creative. You're gonna have to learn a baseline of almost everything. So you have to be an all-rounder. To be a good hacker or just to be a hacker, it's all about mindset, and the mindset should be creative. The more creative you are, the better vulnerabilities you can find as a security researcher. There are researchers who recently found vulnerabilities in Microsoft Outlook, and they utilized the AI systems which emailed the user data to them just by talking to the AI.
Right.
So there are a lot of vulnerabilities there, but how they figured it out? They were creative. They used multiple vectors against an AI agent and then ported it to mail output. So it's all about creativity, creativity and the passion to break stuff,
and also the persistence.
Yeah, persistence as well.
There is one thing like resistance or then the persistence.
Exactly.
Right? So hackers should have to be persistent.
Yeah.
And resilient as well. Consistency is a common thing, right?
Exactly.
We should have to work like 12 hours in the front of screen to find out the bugs, and it took years and years.
Yeah.
ठीक है, तो ये hackers के लिए जो students cyber security को join करना चाहते हैं, at least like 12 hours a day in a front of screen, you should have to stick and to learn how to find the bugs, right? And एक attack vector के ऊपर बहुत टाइम लगता है. Even though जब हम test cases develop करते हैं automations के लिए, it took like 3 to 4 days. और वो जो सिक्योरिटी रिसर्चर्स काम कर रहे हैं ऑलरेडी बग बाउंटी में या VAPT में, दे आर द एक्सपर्ट्स. लेकिन उनको टूल्स एक्सट्रैक्ट करके उनके पैटर्न्स राइट करने में 2 से 3 दिन लग जाते हैं. और फिर डेवलपर्स को ऑटोमेट करने. अच्छा, यहाँ पे एक और चैलेंज है प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट में कि हमारे पास 180 डिग्री का गैप है. मतलब सिक्योरिटी रिसर्चर, फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ एज ए को-फाउंडर्स वी वांटेड टू डेवलप द प्रोडक्ट्स इन साइबर सिक्योरिटी. ठीक है, हम यूटिलिटीज़ डेवलप करना चाहते हैं पाकिस्तान में. तो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज ये है कि जो डेवलपर्स जो यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ के आ रहा है, ठीक है, वो 180 डिग्री ऑपोजिट है जो साइबर सिक्योरिटी का रिसर्चर पढ़ के आ रहा है. तो हम इनको आपस में मर्ज किस तरह से कर सकते हैं? ठीक है, कि ये नॉलेज कुछ इस तरह मिक्सअप हो, डाइवर्स हो, कि अगर कल को डेवलपर को साइबर सिक्योरिटी में काम करना पड़ रहा है तो इट शुड बी ईजी फॉर हिम. हाउ डू यू थिंक वी कैन डू दैट?
वेल, फॉर दिस इसके अंदर टीम कोलैबोरेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. किसी भी ओवरऑल सिस्टम को चलने के लिए यू कैन नॉट गो अलोन टू मेक इट वर्क. यू कैन यूज एन AI एजेंट लाइक कर्सर टू मेक अ फुल ब्लोन एप्लीकेशन, बट फॉर हाउ लॉन्ग you can sustain it?
Right.
You need developers, you need project managers, you need people who can help you grow it out of your own box. Basically, people think that in security you think outside the box, but most of the people nowadays, after the introduction of AI, are thinking outside their box, but they are also inside a big box.
Right.
So वहाँ पे team collaboration बहुत important है. You need to talk to people,
sync your synergies.
Yeah, exactly. And for developers to talk to security to researchers, and to researchers to talk development to developers, it's all about team collaboration. Until unless वहाँ पे team collaboration नहीं होगी, आप कोई भी secure product या security की product develop नहीं कर सकेंगे.
पाकिस्तान में यूनिवर्सिटीज़ का बहुत बड़ा गैप है. मतलब यूनिवर्सिटीज़ अभी तक साइबर सिक्योरिटी सही तरह ट्रेन नहीं कर पा रही. तो हाउ यू थिंक लाइक हाउ वी कैन इम्प्रोवाइज दैट सेक्टर एज वेल?
Well, it's all about trainings. You have to, like, I do my best I go to universities when somebody call me up, and
exactly.
I talk to students. I try to, tell them what security industry in itself is, what bug bounty, my industry is, what VAPT is, and how they can, join it, how they can find vulnerabilities, and what they can do to learn it.
And I think it is one of the emerging topic that we have to work on. क्योंकि जिस तरह से cyber spaces में nations to nations अटैक्स हो रहे हैं, अगर हम अपने आप को रेडी नहीं करेंगे राइट नाउ, सो वी गोना हम उस बीट ही नहीं कर पाएंगे उस लेवल को. हाउ यू थिंक ऑन दैट?
या एब्सोल्युटली. और इसके अंदर ये चीज़ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कोलैबोरेशन नॉट कंपटीशन.
एग्जैक्टली.
एवरीबडी गोज फॉर कंपटीशन. हम एक दूसरे से compete करने लग जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से वी डोंट ग्रो, वी गेट स्टक इन अ साइकिल. हम वही चलता रहता है सिस्टम, एंड देन वी गेट स्टक. सो हमें ये भी नहीं है कि हम ओवरऑल द वर्ल्ड से compete करें, हम उनके साथ कोलैबोरेट करें. देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ ग्रेट हैकर्स अक्रॉस द बॉर्डर्स ऑन बोथ साइड्स हमारे. और even
though Indian hackers की बहुत बड़ी community
है. and I have great friends there.
Project Discovery.
Yeah, from Project Discovery. There are a lot of people who works in multinational companies in India or in China. even in Russia and some in Hungary as well, and they are great hackers. Like upfront, they can I can just tell them the application works like that, and they'll just develop a test case in their mind and give me an idea like test this thing out, and 80% of the time this will work because that's how they have trained themselves. So instead of thinking कि हम उनसे compete कर रहे हैं, अगर हम उनके साथ collaborate करेंगे, we can grow. Just like that for university students, वो अगर compete करने के बजाय कि लम्स का स्टूडेंट फास्ट के साथ compete कर रहा है, फास्ट का स्टूडेंट जीकी के साथ compete कर रहा है, अगर वो collaborate करने लग जाएंगे तो they can build something great.
Exactly.
They can learn something out.
Yes.
So just like that, people who are not from universities, who are not in universities, if they start to compare themselves or compete with themselves to कि इसके पास डिग्री है, इसके पास डिग्री नहीं है, so I'm better off than them. Instead, if they start to collaborate, the developers start to collaborate with the security personnel, they can obviously go a long way.
And how we can, like, besides Pakistan is a good community in Pakistan of security researchers, but we have to work more.
Yeah.
ठीक है, तो how we can create a much more mentorships under the AQSEC, or how we can create the communities. What do you think, like, on that? What's your perspective?
Yeah, उसके लिए we have to obviously talk to other researchers in Pakistan. We have a lot of friends, common friends that
Exactly,
we have,
yes.
and we have to bring them to table.
Yes.
Like for me, I'm really very camera shy, so I have to you pushed me towards
Yes,
this.
exactly, yeah.
So obviously it's all about how we can collaborate with each other.
Exactly.
तो हमें बाकी लोगों को, बाकी दोस्तों को लेके आना पड़ेगा, हमें उनको बताना पड़ेगा,
स्क्रीन पे लाना पड़ेगा.
we have to tell them that there is a lot of things that we have learned that we need to pass on. Like I myself, I did not just learn at start. I start writing blogs at very early age.
Right.
I wrote about everything that I found. There was a time when I was writing Facebook posts which was set to only me, and I was just posting about what bugs I found on Facebook just for myself. So my profile still has a lot of those only me posts. So it's all about how other people in the industry, not just in cybersecurity, but in academic, for banking sector, or
like CISOs, we have to invite CISOs,
and even government sectors as well. There are great people there जो कि अब newly वहाँ गए हैं या पहले से वहाँ हैं, उनका mindset बहुत अच्छा है. They wanna do good things for their country, and not just their country, just for people
as well.
And for that उनको भी pursue करना पड़ेगा, उनसे भी बात करनी पड़ेगी कि we can collaborate and together. In Pakistan, like for example, Digital Pakistan CTF they are doing great work.
Exactly.
Team Airflow is doing great work with this.
Even Ignite is also doing
Ignite as well. So we need to collaborate with them. So I collaborate with Ignite whenever they call me up. If I'm free, I go there and I give talks to them. So it's all about how collaborations and creativity.
So we have to create a strong network of the collaborations if we have to grow much more faster in this cybersecurity domain. Because मैंने देखा cybersecurity researchers are much more like introvert, as you are the camera shy people. So from this platform, I would like to invite as well all of the cybersecurity researchers to reach out our team, and we will open to discussions, right?
Yeah.
To discuss upon a specific topics, because अब अच्छा cybersecurity में एक और challenge भी होता है कि host को cybersecurity का knowledge होना ज़रूरी है. क्योंकि अगर एक होस्ट ऐसे हैं जो साइबर सिक्योरिटी का नॉलेज नहीं रखते, इट्स गोना बी चैलेंजिंग टू गेट द इनसाइट्स फ्रॉम द स्पीकर. ठीक है, तो दिस इज़ ऑल्सो द चैलेंज. कोई ऐसा टूल, कोई ऐसा हैक, क्विक टिप आप देना चाहें स्टूडेंट्स को जिससे वो मतलब अपने एकेडमिक्स को में ही के दौरान जब वो अपना लर्निंग स्टार्ट कर सकें, कुछ ऐसी बात?
वेल I'll say कि stop using your brain and start using computer's brain. बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली हम अगर अब इस वक्त वो आ गया है सिनेरियो कि जहाँ पे आप अगर यू गो एंड ट्राई टू लर्न अबाउट एप्लीकेशन सिक्योरिटी और vulnerability assessment or penetration testing or even bug bounty, it's all of these are just different names for stuff with additions and subtractions. So होता क्या है कि if you just go on Google and search like OS top 10 learning, so you get 1,000 of links.
Exactly.
And not just 1,000 links, you get 1,000 different labs for it.
Yes, exactly.
So आप की ब्रेन खुद कंफ्यूज हो जाती है लाइक मैं क्या करूं, व्हाट शुड आई डू. इवन इफ यू गो टू roadmap.sh, आप रोडमैप तो बना लेते हो, बट व्हेन यू सर्च फॉर इट यू गेट लॉस्ट.
लॉट ऑफ रिसोर्सेज,
यू गेट लॉस्ट. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ रिसोर्सेज, एंड इट्स नॉट दैट कुछ अच्छे हैं कुछ बुरे हैं, ऐसे नहीं है. it's just that कि आपके लिए कौन सा better है. So
Yeah.
I'll say take top 3, give them to the any GPT model or any LLM model and ask it which one they think is better, and start learning. At least just start it out. Once you start it, you take some time, you'll figure it out yourself in no time.
Or even though the sobat is solid through solid you can join a community as well.
Yeah, exactly.
ठीक है, even though ये जो AQSEC के अंदर 1-to-1 या 1-to-many और many-to-many trainings का जो एजेंडा है,
Yeah.
वो यही है कि वो लोग जो रिसोर्सेज को आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाते अपने लिए,
Yeah.
और उनको मेंटोर चाहिए, और मेंटोर अगर फिजिकल है या उनके साथ इवन दो रिमोट वर्चुअल भी है, तो इट्स गोना बी वेरी ग्रेट फॉर अस. ठीक है ना. सो इन द एंड वी आर एट द concluding our podcast. What do you think, what are the next action items for the students or the professionals, even though for the corporates as well? We discussed about these 3 niches: students, professionals and the corporates. What are the next action items in this era to improvise their career in cybersecurity?
Yeah. For students, I'll say they need to be persistent, they need to be creative, they need to learn everything they can. They don't need to start focusing on money grabbing opportunities. They need to first build themselves from scratch up, and once they do that, they can then collaborate with professionals of the industry, talk to them, ask them questions. There are a lot of communities, AQSEC hai, besides Pakistan hai, a lot of their multiple not just Pakistani communities, international communities, HackerOne ki, Buckrout ki. Just go into them and ask questions. And for professionals, I'll say just don't stop. A lot of professionals are being lazy now.
Exactly.
They are just getting
उनका kitchen automate हो जाता है.
Yeah, they just stop out of it. So you need to be more creative now, because AI के बाद आपको बहुत सारी चीजें नई सीखनी पड़ेंगी.
Exactly.
So jump ahead. Be a little bit fast and be collaborative. अकेले की जगह जाने के बजाय दूसरों के साथ collaborate करें, स्टूडेंट्स को लेके चलें, अपने साथ दूसरे प्रोफेशनल्स को लेके चलें. So you can build a team.
मुझे लगता है साइबर सिक्योरिटी में हम लोग गैप इसीलिए कर पा रहे हैं कि हमारे जितने ही प्रोफेशनल्स हैं
वो सिंगल चल रहे हैं,
और सिंगल चल रहे हैं, वो बहुत एक्सपर्ट में जाके स्टूडेंट्स को कुछ समझते ही नहीं है.
एग्जैक्टली. नहीं, it's just about कि there's a gap now. इसी तरह for companies or for industries or corporations, I'll say hire the hackers. Don't fear them, hire the hackers.
Exactly.
If you hire them, you won't have to fear them.
Exactly.
Once you start hiring hackers, you will understand that they are just creative people. They are just magicians. They create something out of nothing and then they help you protect it. So
they break your systems.
They break your systems for good.
For good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's great. That's great. So thank you so much, Mr. Khizer Javed, for having a great session with us. And stay connected, community, with the AQSEC podcast as well as AQSEC on-sites. We are starting the on-site trainings as well. And do subscribe our channel for the upcoming updates. Thank you so much. Take care.